The last time Pittsburgh beat Chicago, Mike Tomlin wasn't even the Steelers' head coach. But the black and gold look for their first win against the Bears in 16 years. And it's coming up next.
It is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Williams now on the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a 7-time Pro Bowl quarterback in his 10th NFL season now. That's Russell Wilson.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He finds his target. It's Schultz. 7 yards the pickup there. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. They go play action now. Wilson. His throw incomplete. Jacob Hollister, the one he was looking for. And it's second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
To throw again is Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's...
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall pick in April's draft, the rookie from North Dakota State, Trey Lance.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ochena Nwosu in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets looking into the raindrops, and he muffs it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
A tone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Can we get some forensics done here? Because I need to figure out...
Put on that ball.
Yeah, on the ball, on the guys carrying the ball, what's going on. Back-to-back drives. Back-to-back fumbles. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense if you're coming out here to play in the NFL.
I don't think the coaching staff thinks it makes a whole lot of sense either.
No, maybe there'll be changes, but if nothing else, there will be a few stern talking tos, that's for sure.
That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
2 yards, good enough for a first. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Lance looking to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quan Williams. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted. but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result could be something you don't like.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. Fighting to stay upright. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was it 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration. You'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Barkley, and Barkley did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do it.
On 1st down, they'll start out with Hubbard. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. A check on the numbers last week for Hubbard. 16 carries, 60 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the 1st half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Rolling to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he will have the Bears 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Now a give. It's Hubbard going left. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Caught by Cobb. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Hubbard. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
The kick by Bass is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Off of play action, here's Lance. This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
So, CD, you talk about this football team, and some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6, 7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
The Steelers defense getting ready here for this next possession. And so far, their game plan, whatever it's been on this side of the football, working pretty well.
And I like where you went there, the game plan. You know that they spent all week watching tape, evaluating, putting together that game plan that they thought would be effective.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Lance.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
2nd and 11. Lance going to throw.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Checks this down to Hubbard.
And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
Chase Claypool, the intended target.
That'll bring up 2nd down. He's going to go up top again.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this ball is going to be touchdown just shy of midfield.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Chicago offense set to get started.
And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, That's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. Right. So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now Wilson on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Schultz. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. They'll look to run with Hubbard.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Michael Gallup as the first half is winding down.
And the Bears have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to...
Lance now on first down.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. A final shot before half for Lance. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half.
Let's go!
And the Steeler offense ready to get going here in this 3rd quarter. Now, they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
60 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Oh, he's got the full package. He can spin, he can juke, he can make you miss, he can drop a shoulder on you. Some of that elusiveness we saw at Penn State has definitely translated to the NFL game. Saquon Barkley hit the proper buttons and turned him loose.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Oh, what a move. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Mike 14. Mike 14. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Throwing now is Lance. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he will have a Steelers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Mike 14. Mike 14. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And Lance now to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, with Saquon Barkley, you often think of the elusiveness, the quickness, but he can definitely run with purpose as well, and he's able to shed a tackler there and continue on.
14's the mic. 14's the mic. Let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
They'll get this out wide to Metcalf.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game. And on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Quinnen Williams make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
14's the mic. 14's the mic.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th. Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tyson Alualu.
Able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
On second down, here's a run with Hubbard.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Whenever we talk about moving... the sticks and controlling the football. There's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Second down, another chance for Hubbard.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40.
On the handoff, it's Hubbard.
And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action with Wilson. And that's incomplete.
They'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
He'll dump this one off to Hubbard.
That catch good for only a couple. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
From the 41, Lance. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing his Lance on third down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And got his man complete. And he will have the Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And that's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020.
Still first down.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Nifty move. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
105 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
2nd down, here's Barkley again.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
To throw, it's Lance. A quick target here, complete to Metcalf.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On first down, Wilson.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing again here, Wilson.
He'll get this complete to the running back, Hubbard.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. Brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one.
Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six.
They'll run the screen with Hubbard.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schultz. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Wilson will throw again. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
They'll run on 1st down. Hubbard. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Michael Gallup with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Quit talking about it and bring it. Max 50, Max 50. Here we go, D.
Barkley, toss play left. Able to slither by. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 116 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Gets past one man. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this